Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Things Events. Welcome to All Things Events. It's your girl MCJT, and I am so humbled to bring you another phenomenal show, exciting show with a very special guest. As you know, this is the People's and Vendors Hub. This is a space for vendors, event organizers, people in the event space to get together, not only to talk about our issues, but most importantly, how do we find solutions and how we level up in ways for you to grow? We're intentional about you, we're intentional about your mindset, and intentional about your growth. So, thank you for joining us. Please grant StreamYard permission so that you can be part of the show, so we can see your comments, and so you can join us. Because again, it's all about us, it's all about you, and it's all about us growing together. Please help me welcome a very special someone. She has been in the event space for some time now. And today we're talking all about finding your niche. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this topic because we're so passionate about so many things. But how are you able to narrow it down to become an expert in that thing that is your niche? So I'm so excited to have Effie of Efsi's Creation. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful day. I know you're a mompreneur, so it's not easy, right? Yes, but but you're doing it, and you're
Yes,
doing
I
great.
am. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Effie, welcome to the show. Tell the audience, who are you? Who's Effie?
you. My name is Efsi Unigwe. I'm a mom to two amazing girls, Kelsey and Glory, and I'm married to my husband, my amazing husband. His name is Dr. Prince Unigwe, and you can either find me in as a business woman with Efsi Creations or my personal lifestyle where I share daily day to day life as being a mom on FC Unigwe. So that's pretty much about me.
Nice. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show once more. So, we are all about finding your niche. And if there's one thing that, I mean, I'll say for myself, you and I have done one or two events in the past. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
um, how did you start off in the event space?
Hmm. Okay, that's a very broad question, and well, in case I'm a little bit jittery, I'm a little bit shy, so
It's
permit
okay.
me to be me if that's okay with you guys.
Absolutely. This is authenticity.
Okay.
So be you, and we're all about authenticity here. So feel free, sis.
So I'm not one of the typical event, people who plan events. Mine kind of started off as a passion.
Mm,
So it started off way back in 2012
okay.
when I decided to start doing Ankara earrings. And as funny as that is, that album has been on private on my Facebook page, and no one has ever seen that at all.
Wow.
So I started off as a jack of all trade. Let me just throw it out there.
A
I
lot of us
started,
are.
yes, I started doing Ankara earrings, and I switched off to Ankara t-shirts. Like I said, that album is locked up. No one has seen it because I was unsure. I didn't know how people were going to react to this new creative side of me because that was at that time that wasn't something that was the norm in our community, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So I really wasn't sure to put that. I didn't have that courage to put that out there.
Right.
Then fast forward to 2016 or 2015 when I got married. In
Yeah.
2016, my husband kind of sat me down. I was just like, okay, babe, what's going on? Like, you cannot be a jack of all trade, a master of
Mm,
none.
mm.
You need to decide on like you're very talented, so you have to pick something you want to do.
Yeah.
Again, I
Yes.
was not sure. I had self doubt.
Mm,
I didn't run up on it. So when I had my daughter in 2016, prior to getting married, we had made a decision of me being home with my kids until they were a certain age for them to transition into school. So I decided to, well, I didn't decide at that point. I was working and I had the baby. And because of C-section complications,
mm.
I couldn't go back to work.
Right.
So my husband decided on it's okay, just be at home and become a stay-at-home mom. At that moment, I would say God was testing me.
We
More
know
like
being a stay-at-home mom is
like
not
it's not
easy.
easy. Like it was like one of like
I
the
have been
most,
there, sister. So,
yeah, it's been a it was my point of humbling. Like God
yeah,
humbled me during that period. Where
yeah,
it's like I went from, oh, I can just up and do everything on my own, to
yes,
now I'm like, oh babe, can I get this? And it wasn't a problem, but it was just, I would say self pride and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So in that moment, I had a little, this is not going to work. I
Mm,
need to figure out something to do apart from just being a stay at home mom.
mm,
And I used to spend a lot of time on YouTube, following bloggers. And one day I don't remember the lady's name, but I was on YouTube and I saw she had a cricket machine.
mm.
And with the cricket machine, she could create all these things. She could make t-shirts, she could make, pretty much personalizations.
Right.
So I was like, okay, how much is this going to cost? So I used my last. I went on HSN. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
they have like a sale every. I think it's the first to the seventh. It's called a craft sale. So they
Got it.
sell all this craft stuff.
Got
So I
it.
think I had $150 in my account. I didn't even tell my husband what I was doing. I just went on there and I purchased the machine
Mm,
and I started creating,
got it.
going on
Wow.
YouTube. But in the back of my head, I've always wanted to go into the wedding industry and do stationaries, which is what I currently do right now.
Nice.
But I
Nice.
didn't know how to navigate it. There wasn't anyone around in the DMV that was working on stationaries for me to, you know,
Wow.
to ask or to know how to do it. So I
Wow.
started doing t-shirts. I did them for, I would say, a year. While I was doing the personalization, I became an apprentice for board decor free.
Yes. Yes. Big
Because
sis. Yeah.
yeah, so at that time she's all about moms being entrepreneurs and having kids.
Yeah.
And she took me up as a little sister and she was just like, hey, you can come, help out do flowers. And when I got there, every time she'd be like, you're good at doing this. Why don't you do it?
There you
And
go.
I was just like, I just do it for the fun of it. Just call me
Mm,
and I'll help out and stuff like that. And she'll pay me.
mm.
But I never took it as this is something I wanted to do. And she asked me to do paper flowers. I did paper flowers for a while and I was just like, this was not going to work.
Mm.
Then she had her open house and she asked me, she was like, oh, why don't you come and showcase, the things you've made, your personalization things. At that time, I was doing things for bridesmaids,
Yeah.
t shirts, and stuff like that. And being me, I was just like, oh no, it's okay. I don't want, I'm not sure how people are going to receive that or perceive me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what
Mm-hmm.
does it matter? Just come and showcase yourself. So I went with my husband, set up. You're part of
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
You opened the house and I didn't know God was placing my foot in the right place.
That's right. That's
And when I got there, one of the vendors was actually in the stationery business I had been trying to get into.
right.
So she came up to me. She was just like, oh, you make beautiful things. Have you ever thought about doing lasering? And I was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing it, but I don't know where to go. And she's just like, don't worry, I currently do it. She gave me the information of the guy. At that time, he was at Silver Spring who had a machine. So that's
Wow.
how I transitioned from doing t-shirts, well, earrings,
Yes. Yes. That
t-shirts
no one's
to
ever seen, by the way.
no one has ever seen. It's just so weird. The other day I saw the album. I'm just like, why do we do this to ourselves? But
Yes.
it
Wow.
was a path that God was taking me on.
Wow, Effie, that is amazing. I mean, from an earrings maker and Cara earrings maker that no one ever saw, to t-shirt making, to doing personalized stuff for weddings, bridesmaids, other things. And here, um, I always use this term, what if? What if free of bow decor, which I absolutely admire,
It's amazing.
hadn't pushed you to come out, to get out of your comfort zone. And you showed up and you met this another vendor who was willing to help you, embark on this journey where now you've literally become an expertise in it. Listen, this is what I call alignment. This is what I call encouraging one another. I mean, I will speak for myself. Free of Bow Decor also gave me my stepping stone into the event world.
Mm-hmm.
When at the storefront. She said,
Yeah.
"You know what, Joyce? You're good with talking. You're good with speaking with people. You are very professional. And I don't know why you're not doing this event planning thing or talking on the mic, but you're going to plan my storefront opening." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yes, you are." And ever since then, I've never looked back. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I've made my mistakes and everything, but she gave me that opportunity. And here's all about learning to give others opportunities to find themselves, to find their passion, to find whatever it is that they're good at. So we couldn't give more acknowledgement to Free. Thank you
Yes,
for being
she
an amazing big
amazing,
sis,
amazing big
and
sister.
we have to get you on the show very soon. So Effie, that's amazing. And today you found your niche, and we'll talk more about that. But the next question is, after you've explored all these various areas within the event space, at what point, and I know you chimed on it a little bit,
Hmm.
at what point did you go, these other things aren't just working? You mentioned that you were a jack of all trades. Like it was like, okay, what this is not working and something needs to
To happen.
but yes, yes,
I think when I had the light bulb was when like in my page, people will see me do t-shirts, they'll see me paper flowers, and
yes,
then I was doing acrylic. At that time I wasn't doing events yet. I was just those were like the three things I was doing.
right.
So it was even funny when I actually went into events and I went through, people were like, okay, went like how is that even possible? But I think the light bulb happened when I was doing t-shirts, personalization and paper flowers, and one day somebody reached out to me to do paper flowers. And the amount of time I spent to do those flowers wasn't worth the money they were paying me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this cannot be my life. I am sorry.
Yes.
I'm not doing it. So I was like, okay, you're either gonna scratch paper flowers out and take full front into lasering. But what was so funny was the guy I used to go to closed his shop and sold a laser. So guess
Wow.
what I had to do? I had to actually do my own research. That's when I did my own research and I found that they have maker spaces where you can go into them. They have one in every city. You just have to
Nice.
research.
Nice.
There's one in Nova. There's one in Baltimore that I went to
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years before I was able to have my own laser. So I researched and I found that you could go in there and you could pay membership fee
Nice.
and you can spend the time in there for a whole day. And that's how I said I was going to do lasering.
Right.
So I did lasering for a year. And I was just like, okay, let me. I'm great. It's not I'm great. I'm a creative person. Like God has blessed me with a gift of creativity.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
So
are.
I don't want to make sound like, oh, I know it all. I'm just very creative and I run it like I have run with my level of creativity. And I said, you know what? Let me just do it all together.
Right.
Yeah. So paper flowers was my aha moment for me. And I was just like, nope, this doesn't work for me.
Nice. Nice. Wow. So you went from all these other little things, and that aha moment finally came. And when you got that, what was that? I mean, I don't know if you remember, but what was that feeling like? Okay, you know what?
It honestly
This
felt
is it.
it felt great because what people don't understand is you place an order, right? For
Yes.
example, for me to create a menu or create a sign, it literally takes me, I would say, close to 2 hours just creating the file.
Got it.
And I have to drive an hour to
Right.
Baltimore. And to just cut the file takes nowhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Hmm.
But I found so much joy in doing that. So on Saturdays, my husband would stay with the kids. At that time, I had only Kelsey.
Right.
He would stay with Kelsey, and I'll leave the house by 8 o'clock, and I would get to the maker space at 9, and I wouldn't leave there till 8 o'clock. But
Wow.
I found so much joy just
Mm.
doing it, and it was kind of like, as a mom, you're always stuck at home. It
Yes.
was like my getaway
Yes.
moment, like my me time. No
Your
matter,
you time, but
yeah, it was
you're
like,
but
but I
you're
was
working
working.
on some things that you enjoy. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've read the quote that finding your niche is like finding that thing that if you woke up from sleep and they're like, do it. You're like, I got this. Like that's the feeling that I've literally have read people like it's like something that it's so natural, it's just genuine. It comes within,
Yeah.
and you never feel bored. You never feel like, oh, this is too much because you just
Yeah.
enjoy it so much. That's when I think you've like found that thing, that niche as we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So while we're all about this, what are some of those ways that you've been able to mold your niche, to grow those skill sets that you've obtained? What are some of those ways? And how did you find some of those pathways to molding your niche?
So a lot of times people don't understand that you can get help from YouTube
Hello.
or
I call it YouTube University.
university
Yes.
or Facebook groups.
Yes.
Anything you want to do or anything you want to make, they have groups for it. So
Nice.
what I do, if you go on my Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, but I'm on each laser groups. Like anything that has to do with laser cutting,
Yeah.
anything that has to do with events.
Yes.
I join this group and I ask questions. People are very, very willing.
Oh, yes.
Surprising as it may sound, people will share. You
Yep.
just have to ask the right questions.
That's true.
And you just have to pray and hope someone is willing to give you that answers. But I learn a lot from Facebook and Instagram. I follow a lot of people who do the same thing, and just being polite and building a relationship is very important. So
Absolutely.
I don't know how to call them, but I'll call laser sisters on
There you
Instagrams
go. There you
who
go.
are in difference. I have one that is in she's in LA. I have another one in New York. If
Nice.
I'm stuck in making a laser or trying to engrave something and it's not working, I can just reach out to her. Or if I needed a fund for a particular design, I can just reach out to them. So pretty much Facebook and just having the sister vendors or sister entrepreneurs has been the thing that has helped me a lot.
That is so true. Because I mean, on this platform, it's all about collaboration. But
Mhm.
a lot of times, I would say that a lot of entrepreneurs or people with side hustle,
Mhm.
they forget that social media is not just for posting pictures. There is a whole different arena of groups like you mentioned,
Mhm.
groups that are teaching you how to do this. The YouTube University, I am like an avid user of YouTube. I go Google it, how to do this for dummies. I click on videos and I bet you there is a YouTube video about, and I always put for dummies because I want, like, if something that I don't understand
You
and I
want the
really want to
beginner level of
Yes,
it.
I want like the 5-year-old level. So I'm like, oh, so that's what that does. But the truth is, we neglect these things. And,
Mhm.
as a business owner, it's so important to not only collaborate with the peers, the people around you, but people that are also in another level, where you seek to grow, where you seek to
Mhm.
be in another, a year or two from now.
Yeah.
So, we're just encouraging you out there, please, please start to collaborate with your peers, people around you, and people that are also doing things that you
Mhm.
inspire or aspire to
To
do down
do
the
that,
road.
that's a good one.
Yes,
You necessarily don't have to, because when I wanted to do the stationery, which laser cutting,
yeah,
let me just laser cutting because
hmm,
stationery is very broad. It's paper. I don't do that. So
okay,
laser cutting,
yeah,
I followed 1010. That's her name. Her name is 1010. I think she changed it to something else, but
right,
she was pretty much the only one at that
wow,
time. She's in Florida. She was
nice,
the only one doing laser cutting. And I kept on following her work and just like I kept on asking myself, is this what I want to do? Like follow her, see the things she was doing, and just
right,
making myself familiar with that.
right. Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna move. We'll take it a little bit more on a personal note, and I know this question tends to get people a little bit emotional, but let's talk about. Let's move now. Let's talk about people around you,
Hmm.
and how have you been able to discern um, who will be part of your tribe, who genuinely cared about your growth, not
Hmm.
only as a business owner, but you as a whole. Because it's the mind, body, and soul. It's all of
Mhm.
you, and then the business.
Mhm.
How have you been able to manage, who to set back from your tribe, and in terms of you growing and being where you are today in your business? Have you been able to manage your tribe and having that discerning spirit to say, okay, you know what? Yes, no. Have you been able to do that? I know.
Yeah. So personally, on my personal aspect of life, I am very spiritually grounded.
Mhm.
I don't do anything that the Lord does not lay on my heart to do.
Amen to
And
that.
like yesterday, I had a client that was sent by another vendor, which we're familiar with, and I'm very, very straightforward. I don't sugarcoat it. If you reach out to me, I'll ask you those questions.
Yes.
Why do you want to do it? Are you sure this is what you want to do?
Right.
So I always tell them, yes, I know you want an inquiry, but I'm going to pray about it.
Right.
And if the Lord leads me to do this event, I would do it.
Right.
So I take that also with the people around me. Like when I started, I'm not going to mention the name, but
Absolutely. Please don't.
yeah.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
sometimes when we work with people, we are in this season where everyone is chasing
Yes.
popularity. It's not real.
Mm.
It's really like, for example, someone will be like, oh, I know her. I didn't know I get that a lot. I
Yes.
don't know you do events. I'm
Right.
not. I just feel like your gift should be able to speak for you.
Yes.
It's okay to market yourself, but I really just let God put me out there. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay.
So there were more of like, oh, I want people to see my work. I want people to, to pretty much like you do things for anybody just because you want to be seen.
Yes.
And that didn't flow with my spirit because it's not every event I want to do because it does not align with my spiritual beliefs. So in situations like that, it's easier to say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to do it. I don't think, working on this path with you is something like it's okay to be very polite.
Hmm.
You don't have to be rude about it. And I'm
Right.
very, very private. I'm a very private person. So
Right.
if you're coming around me to do an event or you're in my tribe, we have to have the same spiritual beliefs or the same mindset.
Mm.
So I really wouldn't say I've had issues with that because I'm really guarded on this path I'm going on.
Okay.
So the people who are around me have been people who I pretty much work with. Like I serve in church, we serve together. So they are part of my tribe because I we do the same thing. We do decorations together. They help me out, and I have learned to actually even get help from people who are not within my community, like the
Absolutely.
people who come and help out during the set are people I don't know. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I just reach out to you. Hey, do you know somebody that can help me with an event? And they say yes. Like you just have to be open, honestly.
Absolutely.
That's just where I am right now. If I want to grow, I have to be open and I have to be discerning too at the same time. But I really haven't had that issue pretty much
That's
because I'm
fantastic.
very discerning for the most part.
That's great. I
Yeah.
mean, it's great to hear that you've come, and the spiritualness has definitely helped you to overcome things, because as a business owner, as a mom, as a parent, as a wife, I mean,
It's really
you
hard.
have to have that spiritualness in things to be able to discern who is and who isn't for you. And you said a really important thing here is not every event is for you. The truth is, I will say that a lot of times like you said, everyone is so caught up in social media and doing an event, but is it really worth it? At some point, you have to sit back and go, you know what? It's okay. It's not for me. I'll pass. And like you said, just being polite about it is certainly the way to go. Like, personally, that's where I am. Like, if you call and you want to book me to MC an event, I'll give you my price point, tell you what I do. And if it works, fine. If it doesn't, I'm like, thank you so much. But hey, here's another person that you can reach out to,
Yeah.
because you get to that point where you know your worth, you know what you can do, right? And
The
you
time you
know that the
dedicate
work,
to it.
yes, your work speaks for itself. So, to all the business owners, side hustlers out there, your work will speak for itself at some point, that you're going to say, you know what? Thank you,
Good.
but no thanks.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay. Like you said, people will come for you because someone will say, no, you need to call Effie's Creation. Like the girl is good. And I've had people say, call this person, and I'll tell them call this person because guess what? They're a team player.
Yeah.
They are part of the team. It's not just, oh, I am, I do personalization. That's it. No, if I need to assist here,
You can assist.
I will assist. So I encourage a lot of business owners, please think about at that point, when you found your niche, a yes is a go, because the last thing you want to do is book an event and then you're pissed off the entire time because you're doing too much work than what you were supposed to be paid for.
Been there a
So
couple
we
times.
have we have got to level up. We have got
Yep.
to level up.
Yeah.
And to the community, we need you to support us.
Yeah.
But conversation for another day. So there is something in the corporate world called a niche expertise, right? And I know you mentioned this prior, but
Mhm.
what is your niche expertise so everyone knows?
So pretty much, Efsi Creations, the main thing is laser cutting. I
Yeah.
stand by that because I would say I'm the only African in DMV laser cutting. So
Say that again. You are
in
the
case
only
you didn't
what?
know that, the only
Yes,
African.
yes, yes.
I don't really do what I have to do with the laser, but I'm the only African in the
Mm,
DMV who laser cuts. So in
wow.
case you're looking for somebody to personalize your menus, I'm that girl. Girl.
Listen,
But
it
then I
is
do event planning. No, not event planning. Take that back. I don't know. Event designs
there
and
you go.
stylings. So
There
if you
is a
want to
difference.
plan your birthdays, your bridal showers, I'm that person. I do I do a good job. I think I can
No,
say.
you do a fantastic job. I mean,
I'm
I'm
just
getting ready to
joking.
I'm getting ready to you know, um show a little bit of your work, and when I show it, just explain to our audience, you
Okay.
know, again, this is just some of Effie's Effie Creations
Creations.
designs.
Okay.
So we have this one here.
Yeah, so pretty much you have a name place card and you have a menu charger.
Beautiful. And you can see the name is there, it's personalized.
So right here is pretty much you have a backdrop which I own, and I laser cut the name Kelsey, the number 5, and the butterflies. That's laser
Beautiful.
cut.
Beautiful.
There it's acrylic. This was for a baby shower. I just actually did the baby's 1 year birthday party this Saturday, and
Wow.
that's in a brown menu acrylic, a
Nice.
drink menu, and a stemless stirrer.
Wow. Beautiful.
And pretty much that's the same thing. You have a wood menu and a wooden name sign. And I did the decorations. The balloon work is all me.
Wow. Wow. That is beautiful. I mean, talk about finding your niche and talk about sticking to it. Talk about, molding that niche and talk about collaboration. I mean, from people that are far as you said, California, that you
Hmm.
collaborate with, and not only that, being the only African in the DMV area that does laser, like that is amazing. I mean, truth is, it just didn't happen, right? It was a
No, it,
process.
it was a process. It
Yeah,
didn't just happen. And
yes, yes. It was a process that if you weren't open to, you would have never gotten here.
that's just the
So,
honest truth about it.
yes,
And I
yes,
think with like a lot of dedication,
yes,
my husband surprised me with my own laser at home, so I don't have to travel 2 hours back and forth
right.
to create others. I have the privilege of just going, to
Getting
my
it
garage and
to your
working on
garage
it
and
and
getting it
still
done.
taking care of
That
my kids from
that's
home.
fantastic. Talk about being a mompreneur and having everything at home with you. Like that is amazing. And having a supportive partner too
Oh yeah.
is so important. I mean, regardless if you're a business owner or not, just having a supportive partner is so important. But I think the last question before I get your final words, Effie, is,
Mhm.
what would you say to that, business owner, that side hustler that's like the jack of all trades right now, and they're just trying to figure out what is it? Like, I'm passionate about everything. How do I know, like, this is what I should really focus on? What would you say to them?
I would say, like for me, I'm not gonna go deep into anything, but you're aware of it. They are not aware of it.
Yes.
But it's about you, even when you're in a like your sad moment, and you can do that thing, and it brings you joy.
Mm,
That's when you know it's for
yes.
you. Like
Yes.
being a jack of all trade, a master of none is like the worst thing you ever want to do to yourself. I've been there, and I tell everyone, you just have to have the confidence and trust God.
Mm,
Like when you have a gift, use it.
yes.
Use that gift. But I say if it gives you joy, then that's what you need to be doing, honestly.
Yes.
Regardless of what it gets hard. So let me not sit here and make it seem like it's easy.
Of
But
course.
as long as it gives you that peace of mind and that joy,
Hmm.
then you know that's what you need to be doing. Nothing else.
I wouldn't agree more. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like I said, it's like waking up and it's like, oh, can you do this for me? Sure, no problem.
sure.
You
You
actually
can do it.
enjoy the process.
You're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean, what an amazing topic, and thank you so much. Once more, if you are in the DMV, do you do work and do you ship out? Can you do
Yeah,
you
I ship out. I mail out to other states. I
nice,
California, Texas. A lot of my clients are in Texas and ATL. And
nice.
actually, I think I would say I travel also out of state to do events. I've
That's
been to Philly last year to do a baby shower. So
beautiful, beautiful. So, I mean, before we start wrapping up, we're getting ready to wrap up on the show. Do
mm,
you have any last words for our audience watching?
I would say go for it if you had to ask me. Even when in doubt, just do it.
Even
Do it.
when,
In doubt, do it.
yeah, even when in
Mm,
doubt, do it.
do it.
Um, ladies and this has been such an amazing and eye opener for me, and I know for you too, because we start off with so many other things. We're so passionate
Mm,
about this and that, and just being able to identify that thing that gives you the most passion. And the truth is, last week we talked about doing it afraid. And yes, it's okay for you to do it afraid. And
even being on here.
yeah, I was just about to say, like Effie said it, she was afraid and she almost did not make it to the storefront by Beau Decor. She would have never met
Yeah.
this other vendor that was able to be so open, and I think it's something that our community needs to learn. It's
Yeah.
okay to help, to give a hand to a sister. It's okay to lend a hand. It's okay to say, you know what, I can help you. You don't have to pay me. We can be so caught up on this in this social media era where it's like you want to be seen and then you forget about the people around you. Someone helped you get where you were.
Yeah.
So what about doing that to someone else so we
No.
can
Yeah.
all grow? Again, this is a platform where, as I mentioned, we are just so excited to bring you some amazing expertise in the event space, doing some amazing work. So we can not only talk about our issues, but we can learn, grow our mindset, and of course, grow our brand. So
Mm,
this has been an amazing show. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much, Effie, for joining us. And please, how can they follow you? Because you're gonna have a lot of followers reaching out to you.
So sorry, I'm just
That's okay.
personal.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you can find me at FC Creations on Instagram. I really don't post as much as I should, but you can find me on Instagram, FC Creations, and my so-called personal page on FC Unigwe.
Awesome. So follow her, and she is ready to help you to
Yes,
personalize your
I
events.
am, and even branch out to I can lead you to if you want to go to a maker space, and they have so many other things you can do. Honestly, it's not just laser cutting.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Fantastic. Effie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, it's been an amazing show. Thank you for joining us. If you're in the event space and you are in need of vendors, please reach out to me. This is the Peoples and Vendors Hub. What we do is we help you identify vendors for your events. If you have an event that's coming up, corporate, whatever, celebrations, wedding, then hit me up for MC, hosting, or facilitating. It's your girl, MCJT. Bookings inquiries at www mceejt.com. And once more, I am so excited to remind you that my ebook on mastering
Ooh.
events will soon be out. Listen,
Okay.
it's time for us to grow. It's time for us to, utilize, when I started up this whole event MC space, there was nothing about how to do it. And I've been so humbling to be able to put my experience not only about hosting, but also mastering your life as an
Mhm.
individual. So I'm so excited for that. So once more, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
It's an
you.
amazing
Thank you.
show.
Thank you. Thank you.
FB, thank you for joining us. Stay well and
Mhm.
please, it's okay to be a jack of all trades, but at some point,
No, it's not
you
okay. No, it's not.
Effie says it's not okay. But at some point, you have got to
Take that
find,
bold
yes,
step.
you've got to find the light bulb has to come on.
Yes, it
Say,
has to
you know what?
happen.
And it's in there. You just have to believe in yourself, have confidence, and stick on it. You have to be consistent. And remember, you have to share your work. Share your work. Because if you keep it in your phone or in a private Facebook for album, we will never
Yep.
know. We'll never know. So please share it, tag people around you, tag people out of state. Don't be afraid to step out the box,
Yeah.
and find your niche. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. This is All Things Events. This is the Peoples and Vendors Hub. Have an amazing evening and God bless you.
Thank you.